Hi, everybody. Welcome to You're the Opera of Power with Gail and Jane. This is another video for our Foundations and Troubleshooting series. And today we're going to talk about, what are we talking about, Jane?
Settling versus
Yeah, that's good. Settling.
Settling.
So just to explain that a little bit, when you have a desire, and you go to the end and something that's sort of okay, you can manage it, you can live with it, even though it's not fully your end. Are you accepting that, or are you forgiving that that's all that showed up and going back to your end? Because I think, and this is kind of like one of those sneaky little ones I think we've noticed, right? Because
Oh yeah.
Find yourself saying like, well, they did this, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I can live with that. And it's not actually the end that you wanted.
Right.
You can rationalize it to yourself that, well, I can live with that.
Yeah.
But you're settling.
Yeah.
You don't have to settle. You can carry on living in your end, revising, forgiving, whatever the offer is that's on the table. And you have nothing to lose in doing that.
Right. And seeing the like I was saying to you, when something comes up that now for me that isn't in my end, it's like, oh, that's not my end. Instead of, oh, I need to control that. I need to, rebut, like I need to convince this person that they're thinking the wrong way. I just immediately go, oh no, you don't think that way. That's not how you think. I know how you think. You think this way because that's aligned with the end, and the end to stay in of what I want. And what I want is all is well. I don't want, well, I'll, accept this behavior and maybe we'll figure it out later and maybe we'll have a discussion, because that's usually what I would do. Oh, we'll have a discussion about this. And I'm like, no, I'm not having any discussions. It's not in my end. I'm not settling for that. I only settle for my end.
Right. And again, the sneaky part about that is that we don't always realize that we're settling.
Yes.
That we're still in our end, but we're actually settling because maybe the thing that you're settling on has taken some heat off.
Yes.
Able to kind of like just relax because it's not as bad as what it was. Now it's a little bit better. And that can be, you can make that into your new end, like no judgment, but you want to recognize that, are you settling? If you want X and Y comes into being, like that's not X. So are you creating a new end, which is Y? Or so it's 100%, what you desire, or are you waiting in your end, going to your end for X?
Yeah.
And that's again, it's like looking for signs, right? It's a sneaky little thing because we don't always notice that we're settling.
Well, and it for me, it comes up with control. So, I see something, I go, no, that's not. And then, my thoughts later were, oh yeah, but if you just said this or done that, you could have maybe.
Well, you start rationalizing.
Yes,
And
rationalizing.
like, well, it's they're doing this, so okay, you know what, that's okay if they do this because they do that, and I can see how they could only want to do this because they do that and think that way, and that's the sneakiest part about it, because
yes,
rationalizing what's in front of us.
Well, and paying attention to what you don't want. And like I said to you, now if I see something I don't want, I walk away, say, I don't want that. I've already got my end. I revise that. I see that. I lift them up. If it's a relationship thing and they've done something that I think, oh well, that
Right.
doesn't even make that's not even in the realm. And But like I said, it is tricky because then you might have a thought later. So you have to revise that and make sure that you're, I guess, cleaning the slate in a sense. Like,
Well, the thing is, when you start, like, say, um, I don't know, the person, I can't even think of an example, but
brought up some action, like some conflict from the past that you had.
okay, so they've brought up, and your end is that everybody gets along
Yes.
smashingly. So they say, look, I don't really like that. And, I'm not going to trust you on that again, but we can still be friends or something like that. So that's not really, it's probably not a great example, but it's not really your end, right? Because you want the trust. That's part of a relationship, is having that trust. Now you can rationalize it. Well, they've had a really hard life, and I can understand how they don't trust because, they've been taken advantage of before and they really need a friend. And you know what? I feel like I should be their friend. I should be that friend. And so you settle with that rather than going to the end where you can be all of those things and they are all of those things as well. So you're really taking away from that person in a sense by settling, and you're also taking away from yourself.
Yes.
So
instead of being like, no, I don't accept that. That's not the end. I see them in the exact way that they're, that is in my mind, getting along, totally understand, forgiving. And because what came up for me when that happened was, oh, I've forgiven and forgotten that completely. And it was like an orange. And I was like, oh, I don't pay attention to oranges. They just, whatever, that is not
I've already forgiven.
Yeah. And then I did that. And then I noticed there was like, oh, you haven't totally forgiven, because there would be thoughts. And then I forgive. Oh, I forgive that. Oh, I guess maybe that was there to show me that I thought I had fully forgiven and revised, but I actually hadn't. So I forgave any new thing that could have come
Just
up.
persist in forgiving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's wrap it up because just be short. So again, just to wrap up, are you settling? Notice if you're settling or not. Are you rationalizing and making excuses up for not staying in your end?
Yes.
Leave us a comment, a like. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye for now.